Interesting. All right, I feel a lot better about the future of the coffee shops. So let's have a quick conversation, if that's all right, about Barcelona, because I'm feeling a little bit less confident about the social clubs down there. Um,
Yeah.
it's an interesting one in that it seems to be in a similar thing. The reason I was concerned about Amsterdam was your current mayor, whose name I'm going to butcher, Femke Halsma. Halsma.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and her kind of approach of trying to drive away tourists. And obviously we see it in the UK press every January. We have a joke of like every January we see the same story. You can't go to Amsterdam anymore and you can't go buy weed. And it's just the same kind of scaremongery bullcrap. But then a load of travel companies kind of go, well, wait a minute, we make loads of money off, stoners going for 3 days over to Amsterdam. We'll put some stories in. And there's just this back and forth. But it's also then it's another mayor in Barcelona city that seems to have basically come out and gone, we want to eradicate the cannabis social clubs, whereas at least the Amsterdam mayor has kind of just been, no, we want to get rid of the tourists and allowing the understanding that it's a bit
Yeah.
nationalistic, but allowing your own people to do it.
The Dutch mayor doesn't have like a lot of support in the city council for her cannabis plans.
Good to know.
So don't expect any crazy stuff. She gets a little win here and there just to keep her happy, but it's not that the big plans come true. Obviously, there's a big lobby making sure that the cannabis industry is represented for as much as possible in the city council as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in terms of Barcelona, that's pretty scary. I mean, I don't know what to expect this March when we go over there. Last year before we wanted to go, they closed down cookies. That was already like pretty weird, and we were all waiting for it to reopen again, and it never did. And yeah, I'm now looking a little bit anxiously towards March. March, I hope we're not going to be arrested anywhere or whatever. I mean, they know what's going to be happening. I'm scared. I'm going to take my medical jar with me, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to keep my weed in there so that there's never an issue that it's been bought in the club or whatever. When I walk out of there, it's in a medical thingy. And I just hope that I'm not I'm not gonna be arrested. That would be fucked up.
It's mental. I mean, some light I suppose I can shed on this for yourself and myself and yourself and anyone else that's listening that may be going to Spannabis. This shouldn't be construed in any which way as legal advice, as always. But from my understanding, reading and speaking with people that run coffee shops, I've previously run coffee shops, basically it's a civil offence for small level possession. So unless you're walking the street with quite a vast amount or evidence that you're dealing, or they've seen you dealing on the street, it doesn't matter if you bought and it's in different bags, that's evidence that the coffee shop, the club activity, as it were. It's 600 quid basically for cannabis. Concentrates, for some reason, including hash, can be up to 1,200 euros of a fine. They can't, and again, under Spanish law, they are not allowed to search in your underwear. Do with that information what you want. They cannot perform a strip search, stop and search into your underwear. So again, do with that what you will. If you are a prescription holder from the UK, we obviously, I don't know how it is under Dutch system, you will have to contact your clinic. They will advise you to contact I can't remember if it's consulate or embassy, whichever one it is. And you have to get like a back and forth, and you're supposed to get a letter. That letter means that plus your prescription means you can travel freely in Spain. Be mindful though, as I've had an interaction with Spanish police where they don't speak English and I don't speak Spanish, and it was fucking awkward as hell. Luckily, I didn't have any marijuana on me at the time, and the money I had in my wallet, they couldn't bribe from me, which they looked so eagerly wanting. That was actually the first few days into Spannabis, I think 2018, 2019. It was a fun interaction. But yeah, basically, if you have a prescription pot in somewhere from your territory where it is legal, that will give you some form of discretion. But other which wise, like I said, they can't look in your underwear and do with that what you will. Generally, most of them can. Again, this is not life advice per se. A small amount of euros may make a Spanish cop go away because ultimately he'll have to deal with you. And if he doesn't speak English and you don't speak Spanish, you'll have to get a translator, you have to get somebody else. So I'm not saying carry extra money. I'm just saying be extra mindful. That's all I'm saying.
Cash is king. Cash is king. Cash is king still.
100%. But yeah, I'm equally a little bit apprehensive. I think it's the Catalonian region are obviously at odds with Spain as a larger government, have been for quite a while. But it is interestingly the Barcelona city council that are currently being the issue. So that's the first time it's kind of attacking itself. But it was the Spanish Supreme Court, the larger territory, that took away the Barcelona protection for the clubs to exist. That was done, like I said, 2021. So for 2 years, it's kind of been on a discretion that are now private premises. So it used to be before they had a municipal license that meant that there were cannabis clubs specifically. They took that away because the Supreme Court took it away. So all the clubs went, no. We're not cannabis clubs. We're private spaces. Oh, these guys smoke weed. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? So they're now going to come in and they've said initially it's going to be 20 investigation or 20 sites. I can't remember what the word was that I saw that was translated. 20 I'm assuming clubs, sites, spaces that will be inspected. And I think, again, speculation here, that what they're going to do is use that interpretation of the rule to go, oh my God, there's weed here. Do you know what I mean? And I think that they might try and do that. And if they can hit 4 or 5 of them, it might scare many more into closing down. I will obviously try and get a guest from more informed in the Spanish club system on, and we'll discuss that further. But yeah, I think...
If you need any suggestions, I can probably put you in touch with a very kind social club owner in Barcelona. We would love to talk on the matter, I think.
I would appreciate that. I'll make a note to get that off you. Yeah, because I think, again, the amount of money that they generate in that region, I think the article that I was reading in Forbes, of all places, said that the clubs stimulate somewhere between 6 to 12 million tourists who have traveled to Barcelona, in addition to the rest of it, which is quite phenomenal because they claim that the clubs only serve 4 million members. So basically the tourists attract more than the members have. Obviously the data is skewed because of people like myself that go over and have to re-sign up to a club every 12 months because I'm not there to keep a membership going. But generally there does seem to be good arguments for economic activity and sort of peripheral economic stimulation. So I think they're going to struggle to truly eradicate them. I think what they're basically going to end up doing is kind of what the Dutch are doing and hopefully have a progressive approach of what is it? What does it actually do? What can we do with it? And what should the future look like, you know?
What we're seeing is that Spain wants to move on medical as well, you know? Mm-hmm. And if they're going to want to move on medical in the same way that the UK is doing it, then a lot of those social clubs house the patients or clients, customers that you want.
100%. And it's a backwards thing of it. Again, we know that social interaction, like I often speak of the culture saving me. It was, as you say before, being accepted by like-minded people, going from being the villain and the bad guy to everybody and finding a space where there is others that you don't have to share the same politics or the same experiences necessarily outside of cannabis, but from that you can resonate and really connect with them, and from that, you know, heal from the harm of prohibition that's inflicted on the people.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, these social spaces, so long may they fucking continue.